Hey everybody, welcome back to Tone Face Reaction. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here to watch some RahXephon. Oh, you don't like that pronunciation?
No. I just heard all the rolling R's when you were talking. We're here to watch.
Rah.
We're here to watch RahXephon.
Sometimes
That.
I have like a bit of cotton mouth and all, so so
Yeah.
I'm drinking water a lot here, everybody.
Well, it just felt
Mm.
like that scene from A Christmas Story where they go to the Chinese restaurant for dinner. For Christmas dinner.
Alright, so with more R's, we got some comments here today from Fail Fisher, who has a lot of timestamps for the episode that they were watching. At 228, they say, that's the beauty of Super Robot Wars. Size is irrelevant to being included for the crossovers. In some Super Robot Wars games, you'll have human-sized robots fighting against robots bigger than the planet Earth. Explanation would be too long for how this works. They don't even have to be mecha to be included. Theta, you said that you've seen Lion Barrels of Iron. Have you seen Jack Smith from Lion Barrels fight the robots in his own anime? In one SRW game, you can choose Jack Smith to fight against someone larger than Gundam battleships. I'd propose again on watching the Super Robot Wars Z2 Hakai Hen opening CGI for context, maybe as Gundam 00 adjacent content like Revealed Chronicles, or maybe the promotional trailers for the newer games like Super Robot Wars DD. Gundam Barbatos is in DD.
As of the recording of this, Phil Fisher is in our Discord and has posted a
Hey!
number of these things that we have seen. So, yeah. Also, what was it? Revealed Chronicles already on the lineup for Gundam 00 stuff. So that'll show up after we finish the series, but before we do the movie.
Yeah, you got plans. At 258, they say that's possible because Yutika Izubuchi, the creator and director of RahXephon, also worked as a costume designer on Gundam Wing. Personally, I also think that RahXephon's wings are inspired by Serene from Devilman because they both have wings on their heads. You know what? Yeah, that's a good point. I remember watching Devilman. It was like, oh, hey, that's a weird choice. But I think that's just kind of like a generic. I don't want to say generic. A way of depicting angelic creatures with the wings on the head. That's like there's been a lot of those through time. So you take like from those mythological sources or like people painting descriptions of mythology, and then you add that to your anime, and bam, there you go. At 36. Who's doing what, why, when, and who? Up a creek with no canoe. Watch out. Uh, Theta, you got more context about where you pulled this one from.
Yeah, last episode. I would assume, I'm going to guess here, minute 36.
So basically, right up at the end of the episode, I would think.
No. If you recall, we do a lot of talking before the episode and then after the episode, which, adds to the runtime.
Right. I mean, at the end of the featured episode of RahXephon.
Right, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. Is all those minutes that we talked during the beginning gets added to the runtime of RahXephon itself when we're reacting to it. So minute 36 in the reaction could have been anywhere depending on how long we talked before the episode.
Know. Got it.
Well, I do know. It happened at minute 36 of the last episode.
Now listen here.
Go watch.
At 1426, they say, I'll talk about my favorites in another comment because this comment is already too long. I have more than one of my favorite Super Robot shows because I've seen around more than 100. Not an exaggeration. Also, I can't comment on anything about RahXephon episode itself because it's to set up some major plot points, just like Theta said. Yeah, this is a big mystery to me, and it's only gotten more confusing over time.
Griff. No, finish your thought, and then I'll say something.
I was gonna go ahead and ask real quick, Theta, before I forget about it in my brain, who do we have to thank for watching this episode this month?
That'd be RahXephon. Thanks once again for your continued patronage. You You continue to lead towards Griffin's eventual hemorrhage in the brain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Hey, I'm in the middle of the aneurysm right now, so let's go a little deeper then.
I was about to say though, before we move on, so I can take another little swipe at you, as all the audience suspects that I'm always about to do, is I'm glad you're not a paid scientist, because I can imagine you're reading the findings, and then you trip up on something and just wildly throw off the results. He says, or they say, that they've seen around 100, and you've changed that to over 100. Imagine if you're doing that with temperatures, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've gotten the readings from the CERN, and the temperatures were, it says around 70 degrees, over 70 degrees.
Look, science is more of an art to me. I'll let that hang. So, last time, I believe what happened was that we had our sort of side-ish character, the girl with pink hair, I think Kyuon, disappear and get spirited away at a strange temple where it happened before. A lot happened, and it's hard to really get too much into details because I think it was like more, how would I say it? A bit more abstract to me.
Really? I feels like you're leading on with, I don't remember everything that happened, so I better make this as vague as possible.
This is also true. But the thing that I'm have in mind here, the thing that I think I'm gonna keep in mind, or like start theorizing here is
Put pins in, one might say?
yeah. Um Hey, I wonder if this stuff happened to Ayato before.
Why?
Why do I think that? Well, Kyuon has like these weird alien musical abilities and seems to be interlinked with them in some way. And I have no doubt that it's related to her being spirited away at some point, right? That would be a logical conclusion, right? Right? Look, I'm reading your face. I'm looking for tells.
Well, you say Spirited Away, I just think of the movie, right? So,
yeah,
that has nothing to do with aliens, it's all spirits and shit. Did you know that, the majority of people that get spirited away in real life, tend to vanish again soon after they, come back?
yeah. That's like sort of what the folklore of that is supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
The fairies take you once, you come back, and you go, well, guess I'm going back now.
You came back, you told the story, and then soon after, you just vanish again. I don't know if there's like a metric for they vanished again and then were found again. The metric I have just ends at they tend to vanish again, which means to me
Right.
that they never get found.
And of course, if like you're reading like any sort of like mystery site, like they're never gonna cite like, oh yeah, and then it turns out that they just kind of went on a drunken bender for a few weeks and appeared after that. It's like, no, they're never gonna say anything like that.
Oh, in my head, it's more, a lot more mundane than that. Like I ran off with my abusive boyfriend and we got back together again, and then when I came back, or when I like reintroduced myself back to my family because they were never going to accept me when I'm with him. Because, he got abusive again, so I came back, and then it was like spirits and shit, right? Because
Yeah.
that's the best I could come up with. But then I just can't quit him, so I went back, and that's when he killed me.
Yeah.
Because
oh gosh,
don't jump back into abusive relationships. There's nothing I can say that's gonna convince anybody, but just don't.
Right. So we do have, at least what I feel, Kyuon is related to all this alien nonsense. I think I was saying before, like, she's obviously also half alien and everyone just, like, not saying it, right? Ayato's kind of the same position, and the fact that he, like, went through and seemed perfectly fine, something like this has got to have happened before. Maybe that's how he's ended up half alien, maybe his parents are just real parents.
What I appreciate here is you're completely not covering anything that happened to our girl, other than she went into the shrine and came out, and then you're further not even addressing what happened to Ayato.
Well, again, I don't remember the details. I even have up here. I'll go ahead and tell you. I have
You're
the
cheating.
episode description up. Does not give me any more information.
You're cheating, is what you're saying.
But using my cheats here, it does remind me. The episode did end with let's see, what was it?
I do recall that it read something like...
There you go. Haruka hummed a song outside the shrine, and that kind of drew everyone back out of all that illusion and into reality. So whatever the shrine was about, no longer matters. It was just a weird one-off episode, and certainly will never happen again.
No longer matters, despite that these people have been missing for how long, Griff?
I think they said like several weeks, right?
Yeah, you didn't mention that. Didn't think that was important? That they went in and came out weeks later and not, like, you know, immediately like one would think, given hearing your recap.
Right. But that's everything that I remember from that episode. I got a bunch of vibes for it, but I think I probably have to rewatch that at some point just to kind of get more meat out of it.
Didn't even mention the two kids that came out in the previous backstory of the shrine.
I thought two of them went in and one of them didn't come out.
No, two of them came out.
That's
what we saw outside the shrine. In the, I guess, fantasy story of it. I don't know if it was real or not. I can't remember.
Oh, there you go. There you have it.
Well, you didn't mention it at all, Griff. That's why I'm bringing it up.
So is there anything else that you would want to bring up before we go ahead and get started on this one?
Yeah, I guess remind the audience that as much griff as I'm giving you, that's not even a word. As much gruff, I guess, as I'm giving you. I don't know what the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Graph? Grift? Anyway, as much of it as I'm giving you, whatever it is, I watched this show 20 to 21 years ago. So, I'm working off of my shit-ass memory as well. So, I may have watched this show, but I also don't remember everything except for the really big beats, which I'm waiting to remember when they came along.
We're not even halfway through this series.
Nope.
So we got some big stuff up ahead, and already I'm still confused. So, hopefully we'll get to a little bit of that today. But for right now, before we begin, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you watch more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can check us out over on the Patreon. It's just $5 a month, but no pressure. It's all support the channel, just a little bit extra.
Click the link down below, join the Discord, let us know what your favorite super robot anime is. Hell, get into a debate with Phil Fisher while you're there. Like I said, when I was originally watching the show, I don't remember the subtitles for the song, so it was just a nice song. And as always, Griff, I'm going to remind you once a month, the intro has a lot of shit in it. Pay attention.
I'm laser focused. I'm looking at it, and I'm just going, Salvador Dali was not actually involved in this production.
It's literally a blink and you'll miss it situation. A lot of these clues are on screen for like a millisecond.
I mean, we've already seen like a good bit of it.
All those scenes that just passed by in literally tenths of a second.
Those are just character profiles.
Nope. See, you're only looking at the screen when it's doing the 5-second character pan. You're not paying attention when it's literally flashing images.
But there are no images in between the scenes.
You can't wake up if you don't. Griff, you can't wake up if you don't fall asleep. That was my favorite line from Asteroid City. Great underrated movie, by the way. And also pay attention to the ending this time.
Where are we starting off at? Monster attack? Got it.
The last bit seemed superfluous.
Well, you know, just for good measure. So I guess the Dolem attacks are becoming a little run-of-the-mill for them now.
戦いから迷いがなくなったように見えます。
迷いのない人間などいないよ。人対。
The characters say what you just said.
終わったの。
今日のところはな。
Lore in the
おは
Remembrance.
ようございます。
おはよう。何か変わったことは？
特にありません。ここ一月、ムーの連中も静かですし、
That bird cage has to be important somehow.
What she said, your avatar's a bird.
Look at him, he's
It's
so
a blue
cute.
bird as well.
まいぞ。
It's tiny.
Instantly grabbed your attention.
Yeah. What's the rest of the scene about? Ah, doesn't matter. We got bird.
一日だけ留守にするが、その間のことはよろしく頼む。
任せてください。ねえ、くぬぎさん。
なんだ？
お婿さんとか探さないんですか？女の子なんでしょ？この子。
It's your wife, Griff. It's your wife.
よ。私も出かけ。
Oh, hey, vernacular.
なんだ、ムー対戦戦没者合同慰霊祭準備会。そう、それ。舌を噛みそうだな。
Try abbreviating that.
何かしてやった気になるんでしょう。権力者という。
The gunk.
すまん。君にはどうでもいい話だったな。今日は君にとって特別な日だ。ゆっくりしてきたまえ。ありがとうございます。
眠い。あ、やろ。オリン？
おはよう。どこ行くの？
ジンのところに忘れ物。
ジンって誰？
そう。ねえ
He's one of the main characters from Samurai Champloo.
オリンっていうの？
Currently on the poll for next.
女の子ってさ、物と心とどっちをもらったら喜ぶもんかね。
知らん。
I like how Ayato has no idea about the Olin stuff either. Everyone just weirded out by it.
おはようございます。
さ、女の子ってやっぱ花とかプレゼントされると嬉しいわけ？
うん、そりゃもちろん。どうもありがとう。
君にはエイト君がいるでしょうが。
冗談。エビフライに醤油かけるような男。
そっちこそ目玉焼きにソースかけ。
Soy
Hey,
sauce
hey.
on fried shrimp.
Hey, soy sauce on fried shrimp is great. Come on.
対ムー最前線の実態とはね。
おはよう、皆さん。本日司令官は不在です。今日一日は司令官代理として任務を代行します。
それは結構。司令官不在の折間違いを起こさないようにね。
We just settle that doubt in your mind.
珍しいな。
珍しいって言えばさ、
何？
ほら。
He's definitely gonna fuck up today, but
どうしたって？
忘れ物したとか言ってたな。
忘れ物？
ジンって人のとこに。
ジンとは誰だ？
知りませんよ、僕は。
oh, this is the anime relationship episode. We're just watching different anime this day.
そう。
はい。
本当？くぬぎじん、みんな知らなかったの？
ちょっとお待ちください。あやとくん、いつきさんから君に
I just absolutely love the blank stare that they had painted on for a second.
クオンちゃんなら時々司令官のところに来ているよ。
夜？
週に1、2回くらい。
週に1、2回？
男ってバカ。
じゃあ後ほど。呼ばれたの？ええ、何か面白いものがあるから見に来ないかって。
面白いもの？
めぐみちゃん、あやとくんをいつきさんとこまで案内してくれるかな。
はっ、お任せください、少佐殿。
So what do you think's gone wrong this episode?
I feel like we're definitely focusing on Quan again here.
Oh, look, two
どう
birds.
して本部に出入りしてるの？クオン、職員でもなければ軍人でもないわけでしょ？
She's not. She's dressed like
あや
it.
とくんと同じだよ。彼だって民間人だけど、ラーゼフォンを動かすというとてつもない特殊技能がある。彼女もそういった形で テラに協力していると考えてくれていい。
毎日
Bird in a cage metaphor.
大好きなバイオリンと一緒なのですごく充実してます。あんまりパパと会えないのが寂しいけど、今度発表会に来てくれると聞きました。その時、私からパパにプレゼントがあるの。きっと喜んでくれると思うな。だから絶対来てね。会えるのすごく楽しみにしています。
That's not a bit of ominous setup at all.
どう？
I think that's too easy to figure out.
ここ一月クオンがバイオリンで弾いてる曲。
クオンが？
サンプリングして発芽の段階から流し続けていたら、原種とは似ても似つかない花がついたというわけ。ちなみにこっちが原種。
へえ、でもこっちの方まだつぼみが多いですね。
クオンに聞いてみたいけど、あの子は何も自覚的にやってるわけじゃないから
God,
ね。
everyone's eyes are just so fucking
何
bright.
が感じた？
そういうことかな。でもやっぱり違うかな。
違う。
聞いてるとだんだん悲しい気持ちになってくるんです。美しい曲です。でも
Gasp.
なんかこう
It's music that makes you feel things.
そう、違和感があるんです。
For an anime where like the primary motif is like a world suffused sound and like a lot of like little musical notes placed all around. This is actually the first time someone's just playing an instrument, huh?
I want to say no, but I can't cite specific examples.
Mhm.
Oh, duh. Every ending scene is her playing her violin.
I mean, in episode. Come on.
Are you saying the ending of the episode isn't part of the episode?
はあ、こりゃいい品だ。いやー、奇遇ですな。どなたかにプレゼント。結構だ。ありがとう。ちょうどいいや。俺も見繕ってもらおう。くぬぎ様、こちらは友達。同じもん見せてよ。どうもどうも。1、10、100。
Can't afford that on your salary.
ありがとうございました。
あれ、ちょっと待ってくださいよ。
So you've littered. You left your toothpick behind.
戻ってから少しは寝たのか？
足りない。
え？
全然足りない。断ち切られた思い、届かない風、噛み合わない歯車、何かが違うの。
やはりね。
Ah,
オリンも言っていた。
cogwheels that don't mesh with each other are just the
そ
worst.
う、聞かせてみたんだよ。彼も同じことを言っていた。
オリンとクオンは似てるもの。ジンはいいのかな？これでいいのかな？
それが彼女の言葉なら、彼は向き合うことを選ぶだろうね。
すいませんね。メイのプレゼント選びなんかに付き合ってもらっちゃって、こういうのってよくわからないんでね。では、そう急ぐことないでしょ。出航までにはだいぶ時間もある。渡さんは今日はムー対戦戦没者合同入れ
Can't figure out the name of this damn meeting.
そうそれそれにお出かけだそうで。でも
Look, nobody wants to be there.
結構ですが、その前にはっきりさせることがあるんじゃないですかね。何のことだ？まあ、いきなりやってきたムーもなんだが、先制攻撃を仕掛けたのは
Guilty of just showing up. Yeah, that's a crime.
おかげで今やアメリカに昔日の面影なし、惨めなもんだ。それで話じゃ米軍が独断でってことになってますが、実は本当の仕掛け人は別にいるって噂があるんですよ。これが当時の国防部の人間だってんだからね。当のそいつは部下に責任を追っかぶせて行方をくらましたらしい。追っかぶせ
Oh, that's never happened before.
なんでも将来有望な人物だったそうなのに。 この話にはまだ続きがありまして、ムーに戦術融合弾を使ったのがその部下って人でね。それも当の本人は融合弾だなんて知らなかった。当たり前か、持ってるはずないんだから。しかしおかげで都市が丸々一つパー。どう思います？
何を迷う？
しかしあそこにはまだ逃げ遅れた一般人がいるんです。私にはできません。
心配ない。これは敵へのピンポイント攻撃だ。
しかし
君は軍人だろう。軍人にとって上官の命令は絶対だ。
Why are the Americans speaking Japanese?
In this alternate universe, Japan just got really popular as a national language.
昔な、2013年にお辞めになった。一度聞こうと思ってたんですがね。
2013 would have been the future. Would have been the future in the show, though.
Yeah.
やっぱ給料が団地だから。俺なんかメイにこれぐらいしか買ってやれないし、何かいい仕事ありませんかね？
私と同じところなら紹介できるかもしれんが。
寺に？
いや、連合だ。
こいつは手厳しいや、一本取られた。
さて、そろそろ一人にしてもらえるかな。
どうぞどうぞ。長々とお引き止めしまして、どうも。
I feel like this guy's always like at the just like at the cusp of figuring something out, but like he has no objective that seems to actually be on the table.
I think you have it backwards.
Oh, you think he like actually knows everything already and is just taunting everybody for fun?
He just told that guy his whole backstory while also indicating that I don't know anything.
Well, what's his goal?
That's for you to find out.
そうで花瓶買いに来たの。これは荷物持ち。
指さすな。
また女二人で焼肉？
何よ。
まあいっか。エルフィーも今日は飲んでないみたいだし。
隼人カミナ。はい。ちょっと付き合い。
あのね、クヌギ司令の名前ジンって言うんだって。
そうよ。
知ってたの？
当たり前でしょ。
当たり前か。そうなんだね。
どうして？
別に。今日ね、珍しく司令が休暇取ったりしたからさ、みんなでなんとなくそんな話をしただけだよ。
We all just love gossiping behind his back, you see.
めぐみ、今日は司令にとって特別な日なのよ。
何でも知ってるんだ。
Today's the day where he fucked up.
なかなかやるな。東京でもよくやってましたからね。
あれから4ヶ月、ラーゼフォンはいい動きをするようになった。だが君は軍人では。
Remember, I am actually a fighter pilot.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, hold up a second, they're not just actually shooting each other, they just actually go flying.
I'm pretty sure Ayato didn't do this a lot in Tokyo in actual planes, no.
I'm sure he, like, was probably just talking about the arcade.
No shit.
What?
He's actually 80 years old and he did this in World War II.
Sure, why not? We got enough time shenanigans going on for it.
島の周りを周遊するレストラン船なんだ。今すごく流行ってるの。素敵。
よー、二人さん、デートかい？
だから違うってば。
あ、そう。
なんでこんなとこいるんすか？
あ、ちょっとね。それはいいとしてデートといや。
あ、
クヌギさん？
特別な日ってデートのこと？
I'd never be able to locate somebody in a crowd by following somebody else's eye line.
Oh yeah, no, that's impossible for me.
よし。 相変わらずね。ムートンローとシルトの赤。
それしか知らないものでね。
知る気もないくせに。
食事は
済ませてきたわ。私が招待を受けて驚いた？
あ
ビデオは見てくれた？
あ、ああ。
ご感想は？あの子には未来があった。素晴らしい才能も。
私の罪だ。
そうね。あなたがやったことですもの。仕事を理由にあの子と向き合おうともせず、その挙句に。
君の言う通りだ。
Just all family drama episode. I love it.
今日招待を受けたのはね、もうすぐ日本を出るからなの。
そうか。
名前も変わるの。
そうか。
手紙には入れなかったんだけど、最後の一枚やっと渡す決心がついたわ。あの子があなたを思って作った曲だから。読めるようになった？
You figured it all out yet, Griff?
Well, I mean, like, obviously these two have already had a relationship before. Quan is is their child. And they're going through some trouble. They're separating.
先ほどこちらをお預かりしました。
見せてくれる？あなたへの花よ。そろそろ行くわ。それじゃ。
マリコ。ありがとう。
You're wrong, by the way.
I mean, the whole setup is just like wonderfully bittersweet drama. What else could it be?
I mean, you're not 100% wrong. You're like 80% wrong. Not 80% right. Only 80% right, I'll say.
Ah, good enough.
ああ、もううるさいうるさい。早く帰ってご飯作ってよ。私お腹空いた。
はいはい。
アルファ1発信許可を求めています。
わかった。
頼もしくなったわね。
民間人に頼らなくなるようにしなくてはですよね。
そうね。
Kaboom!
Look, man, you got a job tomorrow. You can't just throw yourself into the harbor. Come on.
ララ。
見てくれるかな。
よかった。ジン、よかったね。
誕生日おめでとう。寂しいかもしれないが、もうしばらくの間だけ一人で眠っていてくれ。もう少しだけ。私にはまだやることがある。もう迷いはしない。
Ah, this is just... Oh, it's so sad, depressing.
I'm sure you
Poor
figured
guy.
out here why you were wrong, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, That's where the bird's name comes from.
Yes.
The entire episode was one little story just being wrapped up upon. So there you go.
Just
They're getting divorced because they're
tragic commander.
Well, they're getting divorced because their daughter has died as a result of his actions, and she's going to his house every so often to play his daughter's sheet music, which is sad because it has no ending. And now she's happy that he's finally gotten the last page.
I thought for a bit that Quan was like somehow involved in this more, but no, Quan just gets involved in everyone's stuff because she's empathic.
Quan plays the same instrument his daughter did, as we've seen in every episode until now.
And of course, now the bird symbolism in the ending.
Well, you have a thing for bluebirds, Griff, so now you have one with a name, too.
There we go. But what's gonna happen next time? Oh, wait, no, it keeps going, doesn't it?
Well, it gives you a name for the episode, anyway.
True.
Remember, don't blink.
I'm focusing. What are we watching? The T? We got that. It was just T.
知り絵師は斧が重いなりラーゼフォン第11楽章巨蛇回路世は音に満ちた
It's that girl you don't think exists.
I swear she doesn't. She's just an hallucination of Ayato's. I cannot be convinced otherwise.
Despite having physically shown up and interacted with objects. And having been referenced by multiple people.
It can be a psychic hallucination, alright?
Multiple people have both mentioned her being there. She's touched stuff and moved things.
Mass hysteria.
You think the last episode's going to be the end of, what's the name of that movie? I Speak to Dead People. What's that movie called? I can't remember the name of it all of a sudden.
Shining? No.
Sixth Sense? Is that Sixth Sense?
Yes. Yes, you're correct.
You think the last episode of the show is going to be having a big Sixth Sense reveal? Where we go back through every episode she's been in. And just Ayato talking to himself.
Ayato talking to Reika, just like, yes, that's right, I was the robot all along.
Or Ayato cross-dressing in every scene. I've just been Ayato doing a whole,
No, that's a
Psycho.
That'd be an end to Psycho right there.
Yeah, it's a mix of Psycho and Sixth Sense. Ayato is all the ghosts, and he's physically there dressing as them.
This is my persona when I kill people, my giant robot. But yeah, no, this is a nice little encapsulated episode. There wasn't the introduction, where just giving us the action, I think was literally just trying to like pre-satisfy people who just like, wait, where's the fight for this episode? Because the rest of it was just somber drama, and it was just really good. I think the show like goes really fast with like its scene changes a whole lot, and it'll just take you to someplace else, have something that seems like it has nothing to do with anything happen, and then just move on. But it does that, and it just dumps a lot like on top of you, and like just waits for you to put it together like at the very end.
Well, that's why at the very beginning of the episode, right, where Jin is listening to the his daughter talking about the birthday recital that she has, and then it's like literally he's staring at a static screen. I'm like, well, I literally said, well, I think this is very much too obvious, and then you had questions still in the middle of the episode. I was like, okay, I guess he didn't get it. His daughter's dead. It's obvious his daughter is dead. It's through something he caused, and he's traumatically re-experiencing it every birthday.
Oh yeah, it was rebuilding up to it. It was just one piece of evidence, and they gave it like 5 more. It's like, oh right, now it's obvious.
Quite often in anime, all you get is the one piece of evidence, and you have to work off of it. I believe there's a show based on that. It's called One Piece of Evidence.
Detective Conan, next episode, this burger will be very important.
This happens. I mean, Detective Conan also crosses over with a number of other anime, like Lupin the Third. They do a bunch of crossovers.
Yeah, like that one makes a whole lot of sense. I'm actually trying to imagine like Detective Conan cross RahXephon just steps in and goes like, what the hell is happening in this space?
Well, I think Lupin himself also then crosses over with like Sherlock Holmes, and it's like it does that whole. I think it's the best example of. God, I can't remember the kid's name from that drama where it all happens in his head. So that makes every.
Elsewhere.
Yeah, but no, what's the name of the kid?
No idea.
Anyway, the shared universe of crossovers caused by everybody who crossed over to sing elsewhere, that then crossed over into other shows, etc., 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 making this whole like all media is basically in this shared universe. It's a good example of that. That's a good example of that for anime, because I don't know much other anime other than Captain Harlock, maybe. Because Captain Harlock crosses over in a couple anime like Galaxy Express 999.
Right. But let's see. So if our A plot was like the somber drama here of like the dead child and the divorce, the B plot is Ayato going on a date and everyone just like kind of going, you guys are obviously like into each other, and the two of them just kind of going, no, we're not. Oh, you're all dumb. Which it seemed weird for a bit, right? Like, I was saying, like, it's like we're in a different anime. I don't remember a lot of exactly this kind of tone in the rest of the series so far.
No, there's been that there. Remember the Christmas episode, for example? It was all about that shit.
It wasn't quite so anime, is what I would say.
I would say it feels different to you because you're not paying attention to the right things. There's things happening in this show, I mean, in the past several episodes, which would indicate towards something like this that you're going to understand later, I hope, that you aren't understanding now. So that's why I'm going to say it doesn't feel...
I feel like you have a secret here, and I have no idea what the secret is. All I know is that, like, 7 times this episode, Ayato's soul left his body, and all that was left was, like, beady, expressionless eyes.
Remember, this is like a 2000s anime, though, so...
Yeah, of course. No,
I was just commenting the other day on a different reaction channel that they were watching Ghost in the Shell, the movie.
Yeah.
And I was literally telling them that there is no greater hallmark of a 90s anime of completely still scene, and the only action happening is a character's mouth moving as they give exposition. Because that's the best way to save money on animation.
Or no, have them even face away from the camera, look out the window or something, you know?
Well, I'm talking like a good 30 second to minute and a half scene where nobody's moving in the picture except for somebody's mouth. Because that's literally, oh. That's what DBZA got all their shit from, right? Because all we have to do is put mouths on the characters.
Right. Favorite is still .hack sign. We're just like, alright, we're gonna do a 5-minute pan across the single frame where everyone is just sitting still and not doing anything.
Well, it's because you're supposed to be giving like the sense of melancholy and despair to a scene.
It works for its vibe.
Literally all you need is a panning shot and some sad music, and that's the character. And that's all there is.
But more to the B plot here. I think like I said, I found it like a little bit too different from what's been happening before, but it's perfectly fine. Its existence there is literally to soften the blow of the drama. It's to give you a little bit of something to cheer you up, as opposed to just being depressed the entire episode. This was the tension relief.
Yes, Griff, that's what it's there for. That's all that it's there for.
There's other reasons for it to be there for. They're obviously advancing Ayato's relationships. People are talking about are getting together, moving forward in the relationships. Ayato and this girl are getting closer together. And like I was saying before, everyone sees it. Everyone just like, you are obviously into each other. So there's other stuff happening. But in terms of tone and putting it in the episode alongside this is what I mean. It is about placement, not content, is what I'm saying.
I'm saying that there's so much in the past several episodes that this just falls in line with, that you're not like picking up the hints for the storyline that's happening. And this is just serving as more setup for things to come that you have not read enough into to see coming. So
clearly I'm just like taking all like the tension relief scenes as like unserious, I suppose.
I guess, because I also wouldn't ascribe them as tension relief scenes. They are in fact just more story building scenes. They're, I would say, as story building, I would say in this episode specifically, those scenes that you ascribed elements to of, just relief, tension relief, were as important as the scenes of Jin lamenting his daughter's death. That you are focusing on them as a, I can pay less attention now, and losing a little bit of what is being given to you.
I mean, I was picking up on other things, like, more specifically, I feel I have a better vibe of what Kwan's powers are. It's still hard to, like, put very specifically into words, but, like, her empathic ability is now, like, very crystal clear, right? She exists to figure out everyone else's emotions. What else she does, I don't know yet.
I would take this moment to indicate that that's still on the whole Jin side of the story, specifically this episode, which thus indicates to me that, once again, I'm not saying it's super important for your enjoyment of the show to pick up on these elements. I'm saying that if you're in the mindset to figure out the mystery, that you're paying attention to maybe 75 to 60% of what's getting handed to you.
I gotta spend some time processing it. So, I think on that note, Theta, are there any last things you want to cover? Because I've clearly picked my brain clean.
Well, it's not like the first episode, right, where I could go back and say, hey, let's look at the watch, or let's look at the paintings. Now, we're so far beyond that point where I can't, like, point at a thing and not have you instantly go, why am I looking at this? And then not figure it out, like, immediately. I need you to...
At this point, you're telling me to look at still in individual frames between frames. So yeah, we're a bit beyond.
Well, no, I was joking. It was somewhat joking about that in the intro, in that there are literally, like, 1 second frame images that if you blink, you literally will miss them. And the fact that we watch this once a month is like, you're not gonna see it, Griff, if you're not looking at it.
I'm never gonna figure it out. That's clear.
Well, by the end, if we reach the end, hopefully you'll have figured it out.
Well, we got at least 20 more episodes for that. So, I think for right now, let's go ahead and wrap it up for Stone Face Reactions for the day. I'm Griffin, that's Theta. We'll catch you next time. See you around, everybody. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone Face Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?